People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in and them things. One sec. Bless me, apologies people. I'm doing some innovations, as you can see, the dust and whatnot. The fumes make it unbearable. But I thought to myself, before I lose this video material, I might as well speak about it now. Emile Smith Rowe, we all know he's one of the most talented players to come through the academy, one of the most talented players. Last season, he made great progress, obviously playing football in the Europa League, being on the cusp, as someone in my comments made me edit, being on the cusp of the first team at Arsenal, travelling with the squad and things. He had a good first half of the season, had a couple injuries, went on loan to Leipzig to play first team football and get a look in. Sadly, because of injuries, really prevented his progress, and it wasn't really one of success, really. He probably learned a lot that he can move forward with, but in terms of playing football, injuries prevented him from doing such, to the point where I personally thought, given he was injured before he went and he was recovering, I thought he would stay there this season, to be fair, because it could be seen as you go there in January, you adapt for this 6 months, you play your games. Next season, you're more acclimatized to the German way of life and your teammates, and you've settled in things, and then you have a good season. And ironically, you've seen Leipzig are still interested in him, and it might be an option for him to consider. A loan spell in the Premier League might be one to consider. You never know with the Zaha business. If he does come, surely he's a name that's got to be floated potentially. He's previously come up as a winger, and he's still got elements of that and can be utilised out there. We all know the 10 or 8 positions his. I really think he's a wonderful footballer, strong ball carrier. He's very positive, as you see. Once he gets into his stride, he never stops going. I really like him. Key word for me, like a couple of these young players in the 23s and at Arsenal, if he can stay fit, if he can have a good time without injuries, then he could have a positive season for me anyways, people, if given a chance in the first team. Obviously, all the talk is about Saka and Martinelli coming right now, and Amici and Nelson. It's almost like, I won't say people have forgotten Emile, because he's still talking about him and what, but it's almost like he's been put to the back burner. Keen to see what we do with him, because you've got him, even if you don't feel they're the same player necessarily, but you've got Joe Willock, you've got Emile, you've got Maitland-Niles if there, you've got Iwobi, you've got players at our club, young players, Haaland graduates of sorts, that can play in a bunch of other roles, but sooner or later you think the penny drops and they're all central midfielders. Like Joe Willock shown previously coming up through the academy, as well as wide positions, he can excel in the 10, but he's also shown he can do the box to box while he's developing physically. Deep lying might be one for him. I've clearly said long term, I personally and a lot of us believe Emile's a 10 or an 8. Maitland-Niles, we believe a lot of his his future should be in midfield, and we believe he should have been given a chance. Iwobi, we know he plays on either flank, mainly the left, but if we're being honest, him himself, he said he sees himself as an attacking sort of midfielder. We don't know if these lot are going to change and whatnot, and maybe all of them can't make it here, but it's interesting. But back to Emile, you would think with the rebuild and whatnot at the club, he'd be one with him and Nelson be given a chance, like a proper real chance. I believe both of them should be promoted, for me anyways, people. Saka and Amici, we have to remember how young Saka is. Just calm it down, give him little minutes, take him with the squad. You know them ones there, like we're taking it easy, but he's getting a league start here, a cup start here, or something else there. You get it, people. I think him and Amici little 20 minutes here and there as they're developing as well. So like I said, Nelson and Emile, the ones for me, them two get their little look in. But by the same time, if Emre deems it's possible for him to go out on loan, or he needs to go out on loan, or he's going to, I don't know, say he's going to give Joe Willock a chance over you this season, only certain people can play. We know Guendouzi's going to play more football than all of the options I've said at central midfield, at least at this moment in time, based on the assumption of last season. Xhaka, based on being central to Emre's plans and playing all the time. There's another one taking up the midfield options. Torreira is Torreira, we all know he's hard, so he's going to play. So then not only are they all battling each other, they're all battling the current options. Like I said, Emile can be used out wide and maybe drift inside and things like that. But in terms of development, you want him to get games in the positions we think he can develop into, which all of them got questions to ask. You can develop, you can play, you can develop utilising minutes and playing under Emre, but at the same time, from Emile, I want to be looking back this time next year, 2020, that I've played minimum 20 league games, people. Because you look at Nelson, I don't feel Nelson's the finished article as much as I love him, but it's great progress. 4 times more progress than he would have made if he stayed at the season and played 23s football. I think Nelson should have been given chances to play football last season based on how rubbish we were, but he went out on loan and he's developed, man. He's had some good moments, some difficult moments. Either way, the facts are he's played a lot of games, he's played some professional football, and he looks a better player. He's not all the way there yet. He's not going to go to Germany and come back Cristiano Ronaldo, but he has a positive season, more so than he possibly could have had at our club with someone like Joe. Yeah, Joe's got minutes in Europa and got his praise for the Europa League and stuff like that and played in the Prem. But it's not really minutes, substantial minutes over the last campaign to develop. So for me, Emile's got to look at it and say, if you want to stay here, cool, and cut your teeth and you're going to be given a chance, cool. But I believe to make the next big step of progress, he's got to be looking back at 2020, we're in July now, so a year from now, that campaign, he's played 20 appearances or so, people. Because that's only, minutes are currency. Not everybody needs a long spell. Not everybody needs to go Germany. Everybody's development path is different. But for me, Emile will go to the next level if he does that. And clearly, him or his agent relished that because they went out on loan, people, last season. Whether it's his agent that pushed that, the club, or Emile, he's someone that wants to utilize the fact that take advantage of the fact that he's left this sort of level, people, and try and utilize his strengths against more seasoned individuals, because like 23s football is a graveyard after a while. You don't want to be there past 20 years of age if you can help yourself. I say 20 because everyone's situation is different. All of these young players, you don't know, I'm not going to name names, but the ones that are talking about and spoken about all the time, you want to be out of there at 19, really and truly, getting some minutes and things like that. Obviously, you can get match fitness playing the 23s. I'm saying if you're stuck in the 23s, no prospect of first team football, substantial minutes, you've got to look at what you're doing, man. I think Emile is someone that if he can stay fit, he can make some progress. For me, the amount of progress he makes will be staying fit, because he's had a tough time with injuries. Couple of players, man. You look at Amichi's had some tough times with injuries last season. Tutu's gone out on loan, had some tough times. Ben Shafe didn't go out on loan because he's had tough times. Belix, over the last 2 years, has had some issues with injuries and had a decent campaign last year. But injuries, for some reason, are a theme with our players. And if they can stay fit, the talent's there, people. And I believe in Emile. I mean, he's a Haaland boy. He's an exciting one. He's a under-17s World Cup winner with Foden, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Sandro's technically part of the team, but then he went back. I believe Brewster was there. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong again. But you get the point. On that note, people, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching, man. Let me get back to the DIY.